Hey, here are 5 compelling things I've noticed about brainwashing. Get it? Compelling? Because brainwashing? No, I'm trying something. Anyway, number 1, it was a product of Cold War paranoia. The concept of brainwashing originated in the United States in 1950 as an attempt to explain why some American soldiers captured during the Korean War had allegedly cooperated and even volunteered detailed confessions to war crimes while in the custody of the Communist Chinese. Surely no loyal American soldier would ever willingly join the Communists, so these incidents were chalked up to mind control or brainwashing. Brainwashing as a concept caught on almost immediately, and it was soon incorporated into the overall communist threat. America was under attack by an enemy so evil and insidious that it could actually turn our own people against us and use them as weapons toward our own destruction. Now, if that sounds a little bit over the top to you, that's probably because in reality, brainwashing is not so much a legitimate threat as, number 2, it's a propaganda tool. Brainwashing was American propaganda created in response to communist propaganda, which said that captured Americans were voluntarily defecting and embracing communism. It was so effective that it convinced not only the general public, but also the US government itself. Within a few years, the CIA was actively trying to develop its own real mind control techniques, having apparently decided that brainwashing, which it made up as a propaganda tool, would come in handy if they could figure out a way to actually do it. And since the CIA was involved with brainwashing, it only makes sense that, number 3, it's a favorite trope of conspiracy theorists. The CIA codenamed its mind control research project MKUltra, so of course conspiracy theorists flocked to it like flakes to Sedona. But MKUltra was a real thing. It was exposed by congressional investigations in the 1970s, and it was one of the most egregious abuses of government authority ever documented. Experiments were conducted on animal and human subjects. People were exposed to mind-altering drugs without their knowledge or consent. Some were subjected to torture. It sounds horrific. But the point about MKUltra that most conspiracy theorists miss or deny is that the project was a failure. Despite 20 years of secret research, no effective methods for mind control were ever developed. That's right. The government is not controlling us or programming secret assassins using brainwashing because, number 4, it's not actually a thing. Conditioning is a thing, but conditioning isn't mind control. Conditioning isn't brainwashing. Brainwashing was invented to vilify our enemies and to frighten us. That's it. Not only did the MKUltra project fail to yield any effective methods for mind control, in 1987 the American Psychological Association ruled that the concept of brainwashing was not valid because it was not supported by empirical evidence. American courts also typically exclude evidence related to brainwashing on the basis that the concept is not accepted as valid by the scientific community. So, if brainwashing is considered to be a bogus concept by the psychological, scientific, and legal establishment, why are we still talking about it? Why do we find brainwashing so irresistible? No? Anyway, maybe it's because, number 5, it's an easy answer to a troubling question. Like other forms of pseudoscience, brainwashing offers us a simple solution to a complex problem. Why do people sometimes behave in ways that are nonsensical or inexplicable? Why do they stay in abusive relationships? Why do they join cults? Why do they abandon their friends or their family or their community? Why do they turn against their country? Why do they forsake their lifelong values in order to embrace an ideology they only just discovered? The answers to these questions are complex, unique to each individual, and obscured by the peculiarities of personality and experience. It's much easier to believe that people only do such things because their minds are no longer their own, because they have been robbed of their will by someone or something else. It's much more comforting to tell ourselves that people in their right minds simply don't do such things. And surely we would never. Well, there are times when it feels like life would be a lot simpler if it were a Frankenheimer film. Anyway, the hardest part is picking only 5. Catch you next time. Hey folks, I hope you know that even if there was such a thing as brainwashing, and even if I knew how to do it, I wouldn't want to use it on you. I would want to leave your free will intact and to simply ask you, if you enjoyed this video, to please like it and share it and subscribe to this channel if you're not subbed already. I would politely request that you consider helping me to make more videos like this one by supporting this channel on Patreon, which you can do by going to patreon.com/Steve Shives. I would leave your free will intact because that's the kind of respect I have for you.